Alright, so on the bugbear, you guys find something that Colton is able to identify as a belt of sacrifice, and he's able to identify it because he's so familiar with magic items that he's probably read up and lored up on everything that he could find out about them. And what a belt of
He lored
sacrifice
up.
does... That's terrible.
What did you say?
It's better he doesn't repeat it. So, with the belt of sacrifice, first off, it's just a leather belt, for all appearances, but each ally within 5 squares of you gains a +1 bonus to his or her healing surge value. That's just its property. As a daily power, a minor action, whoever is wearing it can lose 2 healing surges, and an ally within 5 squares of you regains 1 healing surge. So clearly no one in this party is going to use it.
I was about to say we should give it to Rect, but Dave use it? Dave, would you use it? I still think we should give it to Rect, because he's the healer and he has the most healing surges.
Rekt has the most healing surges? Are you kidding me?
He has 10.
How many does Colton have?
That's 8.
How the hell does that happen? He's a cleric. Does he have some kind of crazy power?
He has 16 constitution. Colton only has 13.
Well, if no one else wants it, you can schlep it on Rekt, and if Dave disagrees, you can always take it off and throw it to the ground.
Alright.
I can wear it if no one else does, because I use generally fewer surges, because I'm not in the battle as often.
Well, Colton elects to give it to Rect because he is the pacifist healer who seems most likely to, be a generous giving sort. And there's always the option to give it to someone else later.
So the Belt of Sacrifice is described on page 252 in the Player's Handbook. I gave you all the details, but for future reference.
Got it.
Anything else?
Indeed, within the chest, you find 500 silver pieces, 450 gold pieces, 5 gems worth 100 gold pieces each, 1 potion of healing, and a suit of magic chainmail armor, which is +2 Delver's chainmail. So it has a +2 enhancement bonus, and its property as a daily action, free action, you gain a +2 power bonus to a saving throw you just rolled, and you use the new result. That's pretty good.
So Winter tells his companions that he found a potion and a suit of armor. And some gold and gems and silver.
Well, I think Rect was the one doing most of the looting, so...
Yep, Winter's the one that opened the chest.
Alright, that was all in the chest?
That was all in the chest, but the reason I saved it for the end was because we do party loot here.
Right. So 5 gems, 100 gold, a potion of healing, magic armor, and how many gold pieces was it?
450 gold pieces, 500 silver pieces.
That must have taken forever to count out.
That's why Winter certainly wasn't able to hide it. So among the papers, you discover a letter written in common that is a contract to purchase the Winterhaven slaves for 1,000 gold pieces, and it's signed by Murkelmor Grimmerzhul and dated 2 days ago.
You say 2 days ago or today's ago?
How
That
about the
doesn't
one that
make
makes
any
sense?
Okay. Well, I would suggest that we go back to town, find out about this Bloodreaver, and I guess we're gonna have to chase him down. And maybe we should just inform that leader guy in town that we've killed at least the local group of the Bloodreavers.
Colton asks Salvana, 2 days ago, did everyone except you get taken away?
They took everyone else yesterday. They came back today for me.
So was those duergar then were part of the party that took the people?
That's right.
Alright then.
The way they were talking about this Grimmerzhul fellow doesn't sound like someone you want to mess with. I think Sorrow can take him, but I don't know about the rest of you.
Well, we'll just have to support her.
We could use these two dead duergar to our advantage, such as going there saying that we ran into two duergar who were complaining about being double-crossed by Crand when more Crand people killed them. Or something.
Sorry, wait. How is that useful in any way?
Well, then they might send a party. If we make it seem like Crand double-crossed them, they might send a party of their people to go seek retribution from Crand, leaving slightly less defenses in the area that we're going into.
And how do you propose that we tell them without alerting others? Are just letting them know this?
Well, we pass our bluff checks.
Whew. Ouch.
Yeah, not gonna happen.
Alright. I suggest we head back to the seven-pillared hall. Maybe Salvana can recover and join with a merchant caravan headed toward Winterhaven.
No, I'm gonna wait for the rest of my friends to be rescued. See, I don't leave them behind.
Well, guess barkeeps aren't the smartest people out there.
Nope, I guess what we lack in intelligence we make up for in bravery.
Well, you left a lot of your friends behind in Winterhaven when you got kidnapped out of bravery.
Yes, when I was kidnapped against my will and put in manacles and dragged off, I did leave quite a few people behind, and I am eager to get back to them. With all the rest of our people.
I'm just saying, I've never been kidnapped, so.
Oh, I'm sure you've never been kidnapped.
Oh, back to town. Agreed?
Agreed. And we can split up our findings there and ask around about this Murkelmor.
So you guys head back to the seven-pillared hall?
Yes.
No, we go back to Winterhaven.
The Drogans follow the dwarven mining runes back to the seven-pillared hall. So where do you want to head in the seven-pillared hall?
Half Moon Inn, I think.
To the Half Moon. En route to the Half Moon. Again, it's a pretty busy town. But you see, amidst the commotion, a dragonborn standing on a crate, sort of ranting and raving, trying to preach some message or say something to people passing by. No one's paying him any heed. Seems to be talking about drow and gnolls and duergar and burning them all in the fires of justice. He seems to be rallying people to his cause, but again, no one's paying him any heed.
Yeah, the guy's talking about purging fire, or fires of justice, something with fires.
Basically, you gather he doesn't really fancy the evil races like the drow, the duergar, and gnolls, and wants them all dead. He seems to be trying to rally up some kind of holy crusade.
Well, that's racist.
Well, Sorrel goes up to him. You know, for a price, I have some fire. You know, if you want to borrow my fire, I can. You know.
So the dragonborn wears white robes with black trim. He has a sword at his belt. His scales are scarlet red and his green eyes sparkle like emeralds. There's a small scar over his left eye. From standing upon his crate, he looks down at Sorrow with a sneer. You would pay to see justice delivered.
No. See, you pay me to see justice get served.
So the dragonborn sneers again and says, I will pay no one to fight for that which is right. If you wish to join me in my cause, You may take the spoils of war, but not else.
Coltane walks up and says, I'm very interested in your crusade. Do you, by chance, recognize the name Grimmerzhul?
He frowns, slowly shakes his head.
See, he's useless. Let's just go.
Salvana sighs. He means Grimmerzhul. He has a problem with names. Grimmerzhul, the duergar. He spits on the floor. I'd have them all burn in the fires of justice.
Works for me.
These names are complicated things. I don't know how you guys keep track of them all. Coltane mumbles. But, yes. We're, headed after that person, whoever they are, ourselves. We certainly seek justice.
He steps down from his crate. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Massimo the Holy, Archon of Erathis. I've battled gnolls and their demonic allies in the northern wastes, and now have come to the seven-pillared hall to wage war against the encroaching tide of chaos, the lawless fiends that issue from the Underdark. I've come in search of allies to my cause, but the mages of Sarun ignore me. The people of this hall are spineless, sniveling scum who harbor the very creatures that threaten civilization. And he points at a building over here. And the building looks less a building and more a fortress, in fact, enclosed by a rampart.
Well, that's quite a lot you had to say there. We just came back from meting out justice to hobgoblins and duergar, so
There was a bug.
we might and a bugbear. We might just rest for a few hours and come meet you again, Massimo.
Then it seems we are of like mind. And he looks you over with newfound respect. I know not where the Grimmerzhul fortress is, but I wish to see their trading post wiped out of this town. But of course the mages of Sarun would not support such an action.
When you say not support, do you mean we'd get in trouble if we wiped out the trading post, or they just won't help us do it?
I mean, I wish to go in there and cut all their heads off, and if I do so, it will be breaking laws.
Well, that is a bit troublesome, isn't it? Maybe we could ask them nicely where their fortress is.
He snorts. The only person who may have information is that vile Gendar, and there's no way I'm speaking with him. He spits on the floor, a cursed drow.
Say, what's the name? Gendar?
He nods.
Well, we are less holy than you, I'm sure, so we might stoop to speaking to this man.
No, you mustn't. We fight for a good cause. The gods will provide. We should never have to stoop. Never compromise our morals.
Well, I suppose so. What do you say we meet back here in a day or so? Maybe we'll make some plans together.
He nods. I'll go prepare my equipment. And walks off.
Coltane waits until he's a fair distance away and turns to the rest of the party. Says, wow, that guy's a little crazy. But can't hurt to have a crazy killer on our side if we're going after some bad guys, right?
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 Salvana says, well, can't be any worse than you.
Well, let's head off to the inn and have a rest, and maybe we can investigate this Gendar without Massimo looking over our shoulder.
So you head over to the Half Moon where Salvana will stay and no longer follow you around. In fact, she even helps out. She does what Rendell's duties are supposed to be. So Rendell gets to sleep in even more now. You know, that slave work program really would have been the best thing to happen to that guy. Would have taught him discipline. And so I'm presuming from there you ask where to find Gendar?
Well, that's exactly what I was going to do, yes.
Yeah, I guess I'm psychic.
Man, you're at least as smart as Coltane.
So you learn that Gendar owns a shop named after himself, Gendar's Curios and Relics. He trades in old treasures from the labyrinth, and also in information. And that his shop is right here, the one that says Gendar's Curios and Relics.
That's good. That'll save me the embarrassment of having us walk over there without officially knowing.
Remembering his name. Excuse me, gender?
Are you a man or a woman? I'm just curious.
Nice. Do you guys head off, or are you gonna wait a day or something?
We shouldn't waste too much time. It's up to the leader. Do what he does.
Well, I suggest we go investigate Gendar, and maybe if we can find the information we need, we'll return here and rest before meeting up with Massimo the Crazy. And since you said it's up to me, that's what we're gonna do. Let's go.
Let's do it.
As you leave the Half Moon, Salvana waves and says, "Thanks again, Sorrow."
Sorrow waves back. You owe me a beer.
And with that, you head over to Gendar's Curios and Relics, a quaint little shop with an even quainter interior, filled with all manner of oddities and, well, curios. Gathering dust on shelves.
Is there like a "we're open" sign or something like that?
What do you mean?
Like, like "we're open," and then like you flip it over and it says "we're closed."
What, 'cause Sorrow wants to burn it?
No. It's like one of those classic scenes where a group of people walk in the store and then everyone's going to the guy behind the counter, and then one person locks the door and flips the sign closed.
Oh.
Well, I'm not sure those existed back then, but sure, why not?
Yes. While the others, look around the store and go talk to Gendar, that's what Sorrow does.
So you see someone who can be none other than Gendar, which is a drow with an eye patch and a predatory grin.
So, something like Stephen Harper?
Oh, man.
I picture him having more of a Jack Nicholson type look to his face.
But less of a bland face. So Coltane browses around and then strikes up a conversation with Gendar and says, "I hear you know things and that you might have some information."
He leans forward across the desk and clacks his nails against the counter and says, "For the right price."
Sorrow threatens to burn down his store.
Does she really?
Do you remember that
Yeah.
Minotaur from the beginning?
So what does she say exactly?
She says the price would be that you still have all the possessions in this little house you call a store.
Gendar leans back, grinning. "Oh, I don't believe you'd want to do anything illegal around here.
For the record, Nick, when we came into this place, the local police guys were rather scary, and Coltane did promise to keep everyone under control.
Yeah, it's true. In fact, you had to vouch for them.
Back off, Sorrow. You don't want a giant minotaur caving your skull in, do you? I won't stop him.
Of course she will. You just run away. Nothing I'm not used to.
Hey, you're free to be the hero and take it on.